So yeah, the longest champ was not Bruno. The longest WWE title might have been Bruno, but the longest title was actually the NWA World title, and that was the one I read. That was
Yeah,
the
but he
three
did
three
say
thousand seven
longest
hundred and
champ.
49. Oh yeah, the NWA champ. Oh, that's boss man. All right, you can turn your camera off if you want. What
What's
up, boss
happening,
man?
gentlemen?
Hey, brother.
Just
What's
talking
going on?
wrestling.
Wrestling. Oh, now I can talk wrestling.
Yeah, we were talking. Well, I just asked Tony. I was
I
like,
don't
"Who do
know
you think
what
was
you
the
guys are
longest
talking about if you're talking about wrestling, because I usually
wrestling?"
talk about wrestling.
Nah, we're
Well,
talking
wrestling spelled with an R.
NWA, brother.
That's wrestling.
Yeah, I love me some good old wrestling, man. I grew up watching it. We had so
You know,
much
I,
fun.
I got married, had kids. I gave up all sports as far as watching.
Yeah.
So my current sports history is about 30 years old.
Yeah. I took my son to see a taping at the San Diego State Arena. And I told my wife, I'm like, yeah, I'm excited to take him. She's like, you're only going for you. He doesn't care about this stuff. I'm
Yeah,
like, well,
I just wish they had the UFC when I was 18.
yeah,
That
yeah,
I would have been totally all in on something like that at 18.
yeah. I wish I hadn't missed the early UFC. When they didn't have all the weight classes.
They got
And I
weight
knew,
classes?
yeah, you can watch them on YouTube, but it's not the same.
Are you talking about the old UFC?
Yeah, when it first came around.
Yeah,
There
that shit
was
was
no weight
wild.
class. I mean, it was
Yeah, it was just everybody. It was
you get in
the
the ring,
Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a tournament. So yeah, it was just whoever showed up and thought they were the best.
got thrown out of the over the cords and into the crowd.
and you saw so many big guys just get laid out. That was the best. Oh my!
Watching some of the stuff that we see in the movies now. The
Yeah,
big guy comes walking in there, that little guy just lays him out, twists him up in a knot, and throws him out of the ring. And
yeah,
it's like, I grew up like that. My best friend was a good wrestler. I've never wrestled. I fought and did that kind of stuff. But man, that guy would tie me in knots, and he weighed 50 pounds less than I did at the time. He'd tie
yeah,
me in knots, and he's like, yeah, it doesn't matter how strong you are if you can't do these moves.
yeah.
What up, Andre?
So I
Yeah,
learned
no,
a
it's
lot of those
annoying.
moves.
It's annoying if you end up like grappling with somebody that you've never done it before. It's just frustrating.
Do you
uh,
guys know? Do you guys know who Danny Hodge was?
Hodge. Why do I know that name?
The Hodge, the last name sounds familiar, but
Danny Hodge. He was a professional wrestler, but he was also amateur. Um, he could take a pair of pliers and squeeze them and break the handles.
I've done
Uh,
that 100 times, but
what's that?
I've done that 100 times.
never on purpose. God damn
He,
it.
No, 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 not on purpose, man.
Never on
I
purpose.
and there's a reason I buy Craftsman pliers.
I mean, it didn't matter what brand or anything. He'd do it, and then you'd give him an apple, and he just crushed the apple in his hand. But the wrestlers that were trying to get into the sport, yeah, like they were brand new. Sometimes they put them up against Danny Hodge, and he was like 160 pounds or whatever,
Oh,
and
little guy.
these guys weighed like 280 or whatever, and like, I'll kill this guy.
No,
Forget it. Yeah, broken
I should
ribs.
challenge. I should challenge Jaywalks to the uh, the challenge that I have for him. Oh, okay, so there's this grip strength like hold challenge that they do. You're supposed to go out and buy like a full size watermelon. Like the little bit longer ones, not the small like round ones. and you're supposed to tuck it under your arm, and you're supposed to open it with just your arm, just from squeezing it.
Just going like this.
Yeah, you can use both hands to squeeze it.
Both
like
hands.
Yeah, you can use both. Well, it does, because then you can get that grip, and you can get a little bit of leverage on it. But it's supposed to simulate a headlock, and if you could pop a watermelon, like it's really hard to do. I've only seen a few people do it. I know how to do it. I watched this Ben Askren guy do it. That's where I learned how to do it. It's a really hard move to do. I would like to challenge
kind of like what
jaywalks to that.
We used to have to do with the cantaloupe.
How do you do it with a cantaloupe? What do you do?
You put the cantaloupe right up in here.
Yeah.
And the whole idea is just put your arm straight out and crush the cantaloupe.
I think he's asking what's the secret.
When I was learning it, the whole idea was, you could just smash the skull.
Yeah. If you can generate that kind of pressure to do that to a cantaloupe, that's the whole idea behind the watermelon too.
You got distance to slam this thing. No, it is set in there, and you got to just crush it, just like grabbing an egg by the ends and going like this,
Well, and because I've seen girls do that with watermelons with their thighs and pop them, and because they can generate, they can generate a lot of power. Well, it makes sense. Girls have way stronger hips and thighs than guys mostly.
Oh, their muscle structure is a little different in that area.
Yeah, the pelvic muscles are way different.
Yeah. But have you ever grabbed an egg from the ends and tried to just
squeeze
pop it with 2 fingers?
Is it hard?
You've never tried it?
No.
Try
it. With the cost of eggs, no, thank you.
Well, make sure you do it over the frying pan, because you're not gonna do it.
I was gonna say at least take that shell with you.
There is a technique to doing the crush, and a severe amount of strength too. Eggs are structurally sound end to end, very structurally.
Is it kind of like the ripping of like a phone book? It's just hard to do, but some people can do it.
I've never tried that one.
I was going to.
Have you heard of that one?
Say that my son's martial art instructor.
I might cut the phone book first, though.
He said I can teach. He goes, I can teach anybody to do that in about 5 minutes. He goes, there's a total trick to it. But he would just rip them in half. But
I don't know the trick.
Yeah, I don't either.
The trick is they can't be. So if you're doing a large stack of something and ripping it, all you have to do is have them off center. They can't be stacked evenly.
Well, you got to clear them out so you can start the rip. I mean, if you do
once you can get the rip started,
solid square, you're not ripping that.
Exactly. You got to get that little bit of an angle, like you're talking. You got to get it flared out at the bottom or at the top, so you can get a little bit of.
I've watched girls smaller than me rip phone books, and just like, oh, you gotta be kidding me! But I've never tried it. I've never had a reason to.
$12 fucking dollars, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Well, who's selling 18 eggs? What is that? The dozen and a half or whatever.
Let me look at Walmart right now.
Yeah, I think I paid $5 something for 12 eggs the other day.
Yeah, my son's fiance went to
$9 for 18 eggs here.
That's not bad.
He went to the egg farm by their house, and they're selling the pastured ones, for 12.
Pasteurized.
Yeah, for not pasteurized, pastured, where they're out in the open eating worms and stuff.
We call them free range.
Yeah, free range or pastured. Yeah, but they're selling those for like $5. So because I don't like to eat the regular eggs anymore.
They're doing. That's how it is locally here too. Farm grown unwashed eggs are $5 for 12.
Yeah, that's about.
It's actually competitive.
Five or six. But there's not many. I will say that there's not many people with chickens here in Yuma.
Yeah.
But I've seen places up in Utah, Idaho, where you're paying easy $12 a dozen for a good farm fresh egg.
Give me a thumbs up, Andre. Give me a thumbs up in the background. I just want to make sure it was you. Give me a thumbs up and I'll bring you up. All right, cool. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, Andre.
Hey guys, how's it going? Hey,
It's going.
how's it going, everyone?
Yeah, Andre. I felt honored the other day. Andre sent me a Facebook request.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
And you trusted people to send you Facebook requests?
yeah. Had 741 friends.
You say 741?
Yeah, and I know all of them.
That's a lot.
I mean, I know
Yeah.
them, like not like Jacob. I know Jacob, but a lot of them I know personally.
Yeah. I know on my personal account, I think I got 180 or something like that. On my Stolen Wolf account, it's a lot bigger, but
Yeah.
those aren't people I know. On my personal account, I know every one of those people.
Yeah.
You know?
I probably have a lot of acquaintances, like people I know close. I don't know. It's a different number, of course. I don't know. There's a theory that Joe Rogan talks about on his podcast, and he's a good example because if you think of somebody that like commentates for the UFC, interviews all these people, it's like how many people can your brain, like a human brain, actually store and remember clearly? Because I don't think our human brains are meant for something like social media where you could have 1,000 friends that you know well. I don't think that's possible.
I don't think our brains are programmed to process it. Maybe in 2 generations, maybe.
Like I think
We
it would
have to
blend
evolve.
together. Yeah.
I mean,
It
my
definitely would.
generation and Bossman's, our generation entered this age. We did not start out in the age of this technology of social media. We entered it. Where, like you, Andre, and Jacob there, they were born into this social media generation.
Pause. Hold on. No. I remember when the internet was created. I didn't have internet all the time I grew up. I remember when they started sending AOL discs out. That was the first time I ended up trying the internet, and it was dial-up. And yeah, I was probably like 13 or 14. I got introduced to it young, so I was able to adapt to the internet better than you guys because it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. I'll agree with you on that sense, but no, I didn't even have it my whole life. Andre probably didn't. It was probably like public use. The internet wasn't really around. Mudrabbit, on the other hand, she's been on the internet before I knew what the internet was. She had me beat by like 10 years.
I was in my 20s when
Same.
I still remember like the time when we had flip phone, the flip phones in
the Star
the big
Trek phones. Yeah, we had
box
Star Trek
TVs.
phones.
Yeah.
I got rid of my
in
last
the big
flip phone 5 years ago.
TVs.
But we had the big black and whites playing Pong.
Yeah,
you know? I mean that was great too. It was great. Now I sit down and I play Tomb Raider all the time. Come on.
No, I can't deal with 6 channels on the boob tube. You gotta have a little bit more.
It was 6 on a good day, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think we had 2 or 3.
It depends on how the rabbit ears are working.
Right.
And who's holding them?
My dad cut a giant maple tree down just so we could get a better signal. Then we got our 6 channels, which is CBS, NBC, ABC, public broadcasting, and a couple of blurry ones.
But yeah, no, I don't think I ever used the internet until probably the mid-90s. Something like that.
We
probably
did in the
late
late
90s.
We did in the late 80s. it just was so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, we used it for mostly email, some games, which you get one play per day on a game, and the next day you get another play on that same game. Basically, email. And eventually, we got, like you said, AOL started, getting dial up and
Did you guys
horrible
mess with
connections.
DOS and did you guys mess with DOS stuff and
Oh, we had
all
to.
that?
We had no choice.
I was using iMac, or not iMac, Apple IIe.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I'm sorry. I'm a PC man, but
Yeah, I never got into Mac. But I was outdated of DOS. DOS wasn't really around when I was growing up. But I grew up in like a very internet age. It just I always immersed in it. So it was easier for me to adapt, I think.
well, you had more television, right?
Yeah, the gaming systems.
We didn't have
we
that.
grew up on those.
We had get your ass out of the house and get lost. That's
Yeah.
what we had.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
Well, and that's what it was for us. I mean, like we grew up in a house of 3 boys. Like I think we were at the tail end of
3 boys.
a
There you
decent
go. I've got 5 brothers, man.
Yeah, and those are the families that do kick you out of that. Like me and my brothers, we were out until the street lights came on, and
we didn't
and
have street lights. I was a country boy.
My mom was very specific. Like she would lock the fridge during the day because she knows we would just sit around and snack. She's like, nope, locking the fridge up. You'll be back at dinner when we make dinner. You guys aren't gonna snack on shit all day and hang out at the house. Go out and do something.
Yeah, and do not leave a box of crackers in the fucking cabinet.
Right. An open one.
Simple as that. It didn't even matter if they're good crackers or not. They're good crackers. You had to hide them.
Yeah. Yeah. So how's everyone doing? I haven't been on here for how long? For like a couple of weeks now.
Something like that. Yeah, it's been a little while.
I'm doing all right.
Good.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not
That's
doing
good.
right
Um.
with the details.
Why not, boss man?
true.
What's going on? You don't have to bore us with the details, but you're doing okay, pulling through.
I've been doing DoorDash, and for the past week, starting Sunday of this week, I guess, I cannot keep my eyes open. Like literally can't keep them open. So I'm like, I can't be driving like this. And so today I was like, screw it, I have to make some money. So I was door dashing, and I literally ran a red light. So I was like probably like fading out, It just went.
Have you tried like a light stim? Are you a coffee guy or anything?
It doesn't help.
No.
It's it keeps me awake for just a little bit, but it's not like I'll wake up and I leave my house just so I can't lie in bed all day. But maybe an hour or 2 after leaving the house, I can't keep my eyes open. So I thought maybe it was my BiPAP machine that I was stopping breathing. But I talked to my pulmonary doctor, and he said, no, everything looks fine. But it's horrible. Yeah, when I went through that red light, fortunately, the car that was going the other way stopped because I think they knew I wasn't stopping.
Oh, yeah, they probably read you like, oh, he's not slowing down.
Yeah. So, yeah, pretty scary. So I gotta.
Yeah.
I'm maybe I don't think I've been. Well, I know I haven't been using my testosterone gel lately. I think it might be that.
Gel? Like, where do you put said gel?
Just rub it on your chest and arm.
Oh, is it supposed to stimulate production of testosterone, or what does it do?
Well, it's just testosterone. It just absorbs into your body. Yeah.
Interesting.
That is what the gray aliens, how they eat food. I mean, like
They rub it
they
on their body
they.
and absorb it.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I always
that's how
assumed
they
that they'd
eat.
have. I'd always assumed they'd have like a concentrated pill or something like that that just had all the nutrients in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they had on the Jetson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess it depends on the species too, because just like how there's different species of human, like how there are blacks and whites and Asians and stuff.
I don't
Same
think
with
they're.
like
I don't think those are.
everything
But I don't
else.
think those are. But I don't think the color of the skin of the same species makes a difference, because I think like it doesn't matter what species or well what color your skin is on this planet, you probably all eat the same, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So like I would assume gray
Yeah,
aliens are
but
kind of all one thing, but like tall whites would be a different species or something like that. Oh, lost him. But yeah. No,
I think
I've always
human
wondered
is
that.
human.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to get to.
Asshole is asshole.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to get to. I didn't think Andre really meant that different races or different species.
I think
That's what I was trying to make him
a
clarify.
lot of things are by location. You know, and like you said, we do kind of eat the same thing, but depending on where you live is what you eat.
Oh yeah. I think it's very possible that there could be other intelligent life that uses photosynthesis to eat, or another form that we haven't thought of. It's very possible. I think it's really weird to think that all other
Well,
intelligent life would be
not all life
bipedal hominids.
has to be carbon based.
Right. Yeah. Or that they're bipedal hominids that are going to speak, some kind of a language. Tell Sean I said hi, Andre.
I mean, I
I haven't
think
talked to Sean in a while.
life can exist in any environment. Just our planet has proved that.
Oh yeah. Well, and I think there's strange forms of intelligent life that we don't understand on this planet. You know what I? Well, it's a
I
weird
can't say
correlation.
life isn't intelligent. I've never been able to say that.
I don't think all life is as intelligent as others.
No, there's definitely different levels of it.
Yeah.
But even a single cell can reproduce itself.
I don't want to say the. I don't want to say the real word, but we'll use the word grape. I think it's strange that uh, species that are high in intelligence often grape just for pleasure. All dolphins do it. Humans do it. Um, I think it's really weird, but these are considered like almost sentient. Like dolphins are one of the closest intelligence to humans that we can point out when it comes to having their own communication skills and their own language and echo
Intelligent.
communication and yeah,
Um,
not
kind
exactly
of like,
sentient.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I look at the beluga whale, which is probably one of the smartest whales out there. Not the oldest or most intelligent, but smartest. Because there's a difference in all those factors.
Oh yeah.
I got a son that's super intelligent, but he's a dumb shit. I
Common
mean,
sense and book smart.
there's a difference, you know. And my other son's like me, you know. He absorbs whatever comes at him. Doesn't
Yeah,
make
I'm
him
more of a
smart, doesn't make him stupid, doesn't make him intelligent, but he absorbs everything.
I'm more of the absorber. My older brother was always the book nerd, and he would get lost in our town that we've lived in for 15 years. But he could spell any word better than me. He could write better than me. Like, but
Yeah,
I could walk him anywhere, not know the name of the street, and we would never get lost.
yeah. My oldest son, man. I mean, he worked 6 years as a nuke tech in the Navy.
Oh wow,
Not an easy task to begin with,
no,
and he's like, "Yeah, it was boring." And I'm like, "Okay, you got to be kidding me!"
you need more.
He was just bored.
Well, I don't know what to challenge you with if that doesn't challenge you.
Well, I did challenge him. He spent a year living with me and the wife on the road. And he's like, I learned more in that year than I did in the 6 years I was in the Navy. Because it wasn't the written word, it wasn't the written numbers, it wasn't all that stuff he was used to for most of his life. It was the aspect of being outside, learning. Hey, that's what that plan is. Oh, look at that rock, you know. It was like I learned more about that stuff being around you he was with me every day for a year. So I taught him as much as I could fill his head with. He's still dumb as a box of rocks, though.
Yeah, that's common though. You see a lot of book smart people that don't have a lot of common sense, or they're just socially awkward and have a lot of trouble communicating what they're thinking and the rate that they're thinking it at. That's why somebody like Elon Musk looks like he has a really tough time relating a thought to the average person. It's just like there's so much disconnect going on.
Well, that's one thing my son and I have in common is the high IQ. So it was easier for us to connect and easier for me to relate some of these things I've learned in my life to him. And especially when we're out camping and I'll just stop and look up at the stars and then start pointing them out. And he's like, how do you know all this shit? And I was like, there's so much in your life you have to intake. Pick it.
Yeah.
I mean, grab it.
Or at least get the stuff that's relevant to you. Maybe you don't want to know the stuff that's growing, at a place you're never going to be at. But if it's your immediate surroundings, you might as well know that. It's knowledge that's useful.
Yeah. Well, actually, my kids are moving to Yuma next week.
Aren't you moving down there too? And you guys are all
I
going?
am down here.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're bringing all my stuff from storage down here too. So Yuma, Arizona is going to be my home, which I'll live in for a couple months a year like normal. Because here, come April, it's too hot. We're out of here.
Yeah, where do you go then?
Andre and Wankaroo. Both these guys are hitting the gym now. And Wankaroo's getting jacked, and he's trying to deadlift like 500 pounds by the end of this year. And then Andre just started hitting the gym too, and he's been giving me little updates. He's been hitting the barbells and actually getting himself in shape too. So shout out to you guys. Glad to hear you guys are enjoying it too, because some people burn themselves out with it. You guys sound like you're having fun with it, which is good.
I head north,
Bossman. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I normally I go back to Washington every summer.
Oh, that's right.
So summer in Washington's my winter basically, because it's summer right now. I think it's 62 degrees out right now where I'm at. And it was 80 today, so
it's gonna be something like 87 here in San Diego.
What?
It's well, now they've changed it to 80.
I gotta look.
Now it's 82. It was 87 earlier. Yeah.
Oh, we're looking at 86 Monday, 88, and then 85 going back down. And I'm going camping on Tuesday, so 88 on Tuesday. That's gonna be hot.
Yeah, we got 76 tomorrow, 78 Sunday, and then Wednesday 82, and then by Saturday and Sunday it's down in the 60s. So it's just a wide range there.
Yeah, our area is doing the same thing. It was minus 25 or minus 30 something the other day, and then next week it's supposed to be 47. So
Wow, that's a
yeah.
big jump.
Yeah, next week is supposed to be nice weather. No, it's good for us too, Gonzo. It's going up to like almost 50 for us from where we were at. 75-degree jump I'm cool with. Take into account the wind chill. No, thanks. We're good. 50 degrees is good for me. I can make that work.
Oh, down here the wind chill is a whole different factor. I'm sure Bossman understands. That wind starts coming up from the south. It says it's 80 degrees out. Feels like 90.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, ours is usually the negative way.
Right.
Our wind
I'm
chill.
from Washington. It's always a negative way.
Yeah, our wind chill hurts you. It doesn't help you. Yeah, an extra 10 degrees will be nice with wind chill.
I will be
I
going
wouldn't
back to
call that a chill.
Washington for this summer, but I don't know if I'm going to stay very long up there.
I think in Washington, like Canada, like you probably only get so many real good, solid months of like, all right, this place is thought out, and you want to hang out here.
We're talking weeks.
Weeks.
You might get a few good weeks.
Damn.
Just
they
like
did a whole
Canada.
season. I don't remember what season of Alone, what seasons of Alone it was, but that was shot up in Washington, and some of the wilderness out there was just wild that they were dealing with, in the sleet, snow that they were getting. Was just.
You're talking about the ones filmed up on Vancouver Island in Canada, though.
Isn't it like right on the border of Washington and?
Oh, it is right close. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's close enough where they're getting the same weather.
Yeah. My wife kept trying to get me to apply for a loan. I'm like, no, I don't. These guys are what, doing a month, 2 months? Come on. Pussies.
They just check in with you 2 years later, and Tony's got like a fucking community built out there. He's live streaming.
I mean, I watch them, and I think they're comedies. I watch them, and it's just a comedy to me. Except for the ones they did over in Mongolia. That was cool.
What would you rather? All right, if you got paid to do one survival show, you got two choices. You can either do Alone, but you have to have another person with you that you have to take care of that's not somebody you care about, or you have to be on Naked and Afraid, and you're on for, let's call it 30 days of Tony walking around naked on public TV. Which one would you rather do?
Myself or myself with somebody else? That's
there's going to be.
I'd rather be by myself than be responsible for another person.
Gotcha. Well, on Alone, you don't have to take care of the other person. You're just dropped with them. You don't actually have to take care of them. On the Naked and Afraid one, those partners leave each other all the time. But on Alone, you have to take care of this person. Their survival's based on you.
That would only be a matter of choice if I could choose that person. Which
then you'd be cool with it.
I have no people in my life now that I could choose to do something like that with me.
Oh yeah,
not a single one.
There's not very many people I would want to choose that with.
I mean, I don't like being naked, but if I'm only responsible for myself, that'd make the difference for me.
Okay. Good answer. Did it make a difference what kind of climate you were getting thrown into? I didn't even say that. You're Naked Afraid in the Arctic compared to the desert?
I'd rather have the Arctic, the colder climate. I know how to survive that.
You'd rather survive naked in the Arctic than you would in the desert in the nude?
No, there's no water down here.
I know. I was just curious. I don't know how that works. I don't know which one would be easier.
I don't either. I mean, I go out here all the time and roam around the desert. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I could survive it. But I don't know. I've never tried it. But, growing up in North... Go ahead, boss.
Did you guys ever watch that show, Dual Survival?
Cody and...
yeah.
And
he had a couple different guys, different guys with
Yeah.
them.
Never watched it.
It was good, man. That Cody guy, I think, is in Arizona and teaches.
Cody is a badass. I won't knock that. David Canterbury is a very big badass, though.
Yeah, he that Cody dude when they were in the winter, he still didn't wear shoes, man. He was walking through the snow. Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
That's just stupid. Wear shoes.
He was fine with it, and then they got some.
Well, in the winter, it's kind of wild because it's not a matter of you're toughing it out. It's you're numb, like you're not actually avoiding pain. You're just not feeling it, so you're probably still injuring yourself. It's bad and cold.
You have to accept it.
Yeah,
which changes a lot of things on survival. I mean, you have to accept there's going to be these issues no matter what's happening.
And then they brought in this military guy who didn't like Cody's ways, and he ended up getting him kicked off the show. I thought, man, that's kind of crappy. That's the whole point, It's like you don't want two people that are doing it the exact same way,
Yeah, you got to have the clash for entertainment.
And then they gave him someone else, and he was a total hippie dude that just was almost more out there than Cody was. But hey, I like that show. You can still watch it online. But it was.
I'll have to look it up and watch it at some point.
That was actually why I didn't like the Naked and Afraid XL that they did, is because you had these couples which all had established leaders, and they were getting in groups of like 5 guys, and then the leaders didn't know what they were doing because they all kind of wanted to do their own thing, and those dynamics are always interesting. It's like these people are great survivalists by themselves, but when you put them into a group, they've been so isolated for so long that they don't just work well with others that easy, or they need to be in charge, or it's weird stuff.
But
or when they pair them up with
the
like
way I feel about it. I mean,
get paired up and one girl's a vegan and you're a meat eater, and it's just like, all right, this is gonna be a good time.
Well, that's what Survivor first came out. The wife told me you should apply for that one, and I'm like, they're gonna vote me out right off the bat.
Right, you're killing animals and eating and surviving.
I'd walk away from the group and be just fine.
Yeah, it's because you're the biggest threat. It's like, oh, Tony's gonna do the best. We got to vote him off first.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, The Alone is just a comedy show. Yes, these guys are survivalists and stuff like that, but they haven't lived that life. They don't know what it's like to be hungry, Some guy squishing rats with rocks, and it's like, you got to be freaking kidding me.
What was the one?
That shit's so funny.
What was the one that the one guy went out? He actually carried the cameras at Survivor Man.
Yeah, I like Survivor Man.
That was all set up. Everything he did was set up. It was pre-planned and set. It was for the show.
Yeah, Les was dropped by crews and he was out there, but all of his crews were within.
In case of emergency.
Yeah, they were all within a mile or something of him.
But
most of the places were prepped.
But they didn't. I don't know about that. But now the other guy.
No, I'm saying they had.
They were selected and secured long before he got there.
But
the only difference between Bear Grylls, he had the people right next to him, and he tried to act like they weren't there.
Yeah, that guy.
Bear Grylls was a little different. They'd be eating pizza next to him while he was eating bugs. It was just.
And you don't think he was eating pizza 10 seconds later?
No, he probably did. Yeah, he probably did too.
Oh yeah, he
gotta wash some bugs down.
He was staying.
Is that Isaac?
Oh, he was staying in hotel rooms But the other guy, Les. I mean. Dude, they were showing sometimes he'd come back and he had lost so much weight that it was like dangerous how much he had lost.
Yeah, there's a couple of them he had to shut down because he's too much of like that personal guy that's got to do his own challenges and tries to challenge himself, and he doesn't like to tap out until he has to. So it's
Yeah.
like he'll put himself in some sketchy ones. I liked when he started bringing his kid with him because he planned better. And all of a sudden he is like, all right, I got to feed 2 miles, and I'm gonna like he'd really get into his boys when he had him with him.
Now, Les, I gotta say, for a TV show, Les did a really good job because he showed the effects. You know, I'll tell you what. After me spending 18 months out there, the effects were pretty simple. I went from 180 pounds to 165. I never did drop below 165, but I was skinny.
Yeah.
And now I'm sitting at 220, happy as a clam.
Les would have done better too if he didn't do 2 seasons on trying to find Bigfoot. Like he probably would have done a little bit. I think it killed his credibility a little bit as a survivor, man.
Oh,
How you been, Isaac?
I just spilled a tiny bit of beer. That sucks, but I've been pretty good.
As long as it's just a tiny bit.
Like 2 ounces. I've been good. I did shrooms like a week ago. I feel good. Feel refreshed.
Nice.
A little refresher recharger.
I don't know how to describe it. I felt like ice glacier. Like I felt like melted glacier water when I woke up the next morning.
I think the last time I talked to you, you were tripping with a buddy or something, and then his girlfriend walked you out to the car and tried to do some like sketchy shit, and then you and the buddy got into a fight, and then you guys ended up scrapping in the yard or some shit. Yeah, it was a wild story.
I think I talked to you like twice since then. But yeah, that was shit. My ankle he ankle barred me, and my ankle's still messed up. I either punched him too hard and my thumb's jacked up like where this joint is. It's hella hard to heal. I looked up, or I fell on the ground and caught myself or something happened. But I had a welt on my eye, I had a welt on my chin, I had a welt like here. I don't even know, but I ended up on top of him, just like pounding his head like this. And I instead of keep going, I was like, okay, now I have enough time to run to my car. So I ran to my car. Because I was afraid of this guy. I wasn't trying to beat his ass. I was trying to get away.
Trying to get away.
I was trying to get away. It was all self-defense. I called him on the phone, and we hashed it out. And then I met him up. I met up with him. We had a beer, and he's like, and I was telling him, I'm like, yo, it was all in self-defense. He's like, yeah, I know, bro. It's like I go crazy.
Well, no, like after you told me the whole story, I like felt bad for the dude. It's just like I know you're trying to fucking stand up for your girl and all this, but it sounds like you knew your girl was a sketch ball. Like,
that's what he said afterwards.
She sounds like the
I
problem.
know she does this, and he's been in a fight because of her once before with our other homie.
Yeah, sounds like
I'm the second one, but I'm not that good of a fighter, bro. Like, I mean, I am, but I've never fought before. That was my first real fight.
Well,
and I actually ended up
on the right end
getting
of it.
like I ended up on the upper hand, but because he was ankle barring me, it gave me time to beat his face in.
Yeah.
Because he was using both arms, and I'm like, oh, like I'm gonna use both my hands, like. So yeah, that was the last of it, and then I've never heard from the girl. I've never heard from the guy since, and I'm over it.
Oh,
He's actually an illegal immigrant. He might have got deported already. I have no idea. I'm serious. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm literally saying it might be because they were deporting people an hour from us, 2 hours from us.
I haven't seen any, but well, my state's in a lawsuit with the federal government, so I haven't seen any direct immigration stuff yet. But as soon as Illinois starts having to follow the rest of the rules, I assume we'll see that here too.
Yeah, because I'm like 2 hours from
consistent thing here.
Huh? Yeah. It's what?
It's very consistent down here.
Where are you at?
You're in a border. You're in a border state now.
Yeah, I'm 30 miles from the border, so.
Oh, okay. I'm like 300 miles, but I'm in California.
Me too.
I'm surprised California doesn't have a federal lawsuit still going on.
What part of California are you in?
I'm in the Central Valley.
Oh, okay. I'm in San Diego.
Oh, cool. I love that area. I like to surf down there in Black's Beach and shit.
Black
But
Sweet.
it's not the best surf,
I'm not
but
sure I'm gonna agree with that one, but
it's not the best surf. But I've seen some hot ass naked women there.
And
Because it's a surf beach and a nude beach.
they're all about 60 years old.
No, the ones I saw were like 40 maybe. But
Hey,
Hey,
like a fine wine,
when
boss
those
man.
nipples are bouncing off the knees, you gotta go to somewhere else.
yeah. No, these girls
All
were
right,
hot.
roll them
It's like
back up.
me and my cousin were surfing, and then these two hot girls start walking up to us, and then they go in the water directly in front of where we have our surfboards, and we're like, man, they're trying to hit on us. And then we walked up, and they didn't say anything to us, so we left.
They were just trying to
But
steal our surfboards.
they were still naked. It was hella funny.
Yeah.
Like we were just trying to surf, literally.
Were you guys naked at the beach too?
No, we were just trying to surf.
Who hangs out at a naked beach and isn't naked?
It's a
You
surf
guys
beach
ruin all
also.
the fun.
No, there's a surf. Like some days the surf's good, but usually it's not that good.
God, if JB Pritzker run for president, I'd be so angry. I don't think JB Pritzker should run for president. I also don't think Gavin Newsom should, but I think they all would.
Gavin Newsom would never win, probably.
Yeah, he'd still run though.
Yeah, I don't think they let him run because they know.
I always wondered who they're going to push next.
Yeah, I know it's a weird concept. Like, how are they going to battle this one?
I think they should send Kamala Harris down to be in Gavin Newsom's position, and they should start promoting Gavin Newsom up. And yeah, I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I think they're going to switch spots, and then she's going to start doing something involving with the prisons and being a prosecutor again.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know politics, but
Yeah, I stay out of politics. My wife does not, so I stay out.
Exactly. That's why I sleep in the yard.
You know my bed's right behind me, right?
Hers is inside because politics.
Not necessarily. I mean, I
No,
I
I'm
sleep
just joshing
better.
you.
I sleep way better in my hammock than I can inside the motorhome.
I get you. And you're
I
used
don't
to
feel
it.
smart enough.
What's that?
I don't feel smart enough to understand all that, so I don't even try.
What? For what? To understand politics? Nobody understands
Yeah,
politics.
my brain doesn't work that way.
Politics
Nobody understands all
is
of
not
politics.
something you can understand.
That's good. Okay,
Unless
maybe
you-
okay.
Unless you're
That
one
helps,
of
actually.
those. Like
Yeah,
Jacob.
that helps. That helps because to understand all of it is hella hard.
Right. Politics is
I
like
don't
quantum
get it.
physics. The more
Yeah,
the
exactly.
more you
It's
learn,
like-
the less you know.
I don't know. I think it's easier
Human
to
brains-
understand quantum physics than it
quantum
is
physics.
politics.
Yeah.
It is. It's quantum physics because human brains are interacting and human brains are quantum computers.
Yep. And as soon as you try to measure something in politics, it's in a different spot.
I like it. But no, I've never been able to tap in and like feel like now I get it. I've never felt that.
No.
No, you're not supposed to.
That's weird though. That
That's-
makes it
that's
even
the
weirder. That makes
disconnect.
it like part of the Matrix.
Yeah, you're supposed to think politics is for the people, and then at the same time, the people are not supposed to know anything about what goes on in politics.
Fair enough. I gotta bounce. I got too lit. I'm like crossfaded.
All right, it's good seeing you,
I
man.
wanted to say what's up though.
Later,
Yeah,
Isaac.
appreciate it.
All right, much love.